Another banger.
Make a call, make a bong bong bong, make a call, make a key for the bong bong bong. Your body kakara, make a bong bong bong, on a make it.
Kilo fait on my dead job.
Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ndeye Peinda. You see the title, so let's just go ahead and get into it. First update is that I moved. I changed my apartments, and if you follow me on Instagram, you already know this. Now, I moved out of my Brooklyn apartment about a year and a half ago, and honestly, it is kind of ridiculous that it's like every year I'm moving, but let me tell you guys, the building that I was at, they decided that they wanted to raise the rent. They raised the rent by $132. Now, this I feel like wouldn't typically be a problem if you live in a building where you're enjoying the service, you're enjoying the apartment itself. And while I did enjoy my apartment, there were a few issues with that building that I had. So number one, the building was not secure. When I first moved into that apartment, the first thing I let the building management know was, I need a building that is secure. I get a lot of packages, and also just in general as a woman, I want to make sure that wherever I'm living, particularly if it's being coined as a luxury apartment, is actually giving me luxury service. So one of the things that they boasted about having was concierge at the desk.
The lies!
They boasted about having a secure building, places for you to have your packages, places for if you ordered Amazon Fresh and you ordered your groceries on Amazon, they told me that there will be a specific place where that will go.
There you go, this bitch. The lies.
After I was told all of these things, I signed the lease and I moved in. And shortly after, I realized something: the bell didn't work. And when I say the bell didn't work, that means that anytime I received a package, anytime I received a delivery, anytime I had a visitor that wanted to come and see me, I had to leave my apartment and go downstairs to open the door, which is so annoying. Two, there was no concierge. I mean, no one was at the front. So there was actually a point in time when I first moved in there where packages were actually being stolen because the bell didn't work. And one of their solutions at that time was to leave the door open. So anybody could just walk in and out, and they indeed did do that, and they came and they took the packages that they wanted. I mean, I had a HelloFresh box delivery that got stolen. So you mean to tell me it went from when you get your packages delivered, we'll put them in a cool storing area so that, you know, your food stays cool, to my groceries are being stolen? Like, and I get it, you know, it's a cost of living crisis, so I'm not for the people who stole it. If you needed it more than I did, that's fine. Like, I definitely do believe that, you know, sometimes when people steal, it's just as a result of them needing something. I blame the building for allowing it to be so accessible where anybody on the street could just walk in and take whatever they wanted. So because of the lack of security, the lack of concierge, on top of the management was consistently changing. I mean, from the time that I had moved into there up until I left, I think we went through like 3 or 4 different, you know, building management. So it just was becoming very like disorganized and just all over the place. And I think beyond that, beyond the issues that I had with the building, I also just outgrew the apartment in a sense that I had more things in the apartment than the apartment was able to handle. I did live in a 2-bed, 2-bath. It was beautiful. Like, I really did love it. Alhamdulillah, like it was stunning. But like after a while, I was realizing like I have my clothes on clothing racks in the living room because there just wasn't enough closet space to hold everything that I had. No matter how much I decluttered, no matter how much I got rid of things, just no matter how much I tried, there was always, you know, not enough space. One day I was looking up apartments in my area, like new spaces to look into, and as I was looking up these new places, there was a building that I found that actually, you know, was gorgeous, and I loved it. It had enough space for what I needed. So I looked into that apartment, but unfortunately the rent was just too high. And also I wanted to stay in the area that I was in because of the fact that I had met 2 new people who I consider to be some of the closest friends that I have, and we built such a strong relationship, and I really did like the idea of just being close to people, being able to be in community with people. But then one day, as I was taking a walk with my friends, we stumbled across the building and we were like, you know what, let's just see if we can get a tour into the building. And so when we asked the person at the front desk about giving us a tour, she was like, oh, unfortunately, you know, I have an appointment coming up, so I can't show you the building, but you can make an appointment with me and we'll allow you to like come and see it. So I was like, okay, whatever. But then there was a random person that was in the hallway, and one of the people I was with knew him just like in passing, and he was like, oh, like, I don't mind showing you my apartment. So from there, we were able to just get like a quick day of tour of his unit, and he took us on a tour as well of the building, which was really nice. And then once he did that, I was like, okay, like, I wasn't sold, but I'm like, this is nice. Like, this is a nice place to live. Then as we came downstairs after we toured with him, like did an unofficial tour with him, the concierge and the person at the front desk was like, oh, my appointment actually canceled, so I can show you the units we have that are available to rent out. They showed me this unit, I fell in love, submitted the application, and baby, we moved in a few weeks later. So I am here, signed and sealed in my new space. I've been here for almost 2 months now, and I truly love the building that I'm in, just because it is secure. We have a working bell. We have concierge that's here until 12 a.m. I believe. I have the space that I need, the space that I want, and there's extra space so that, you know, I can just go into this apartment and build a family here. Like everything that I feel like I needed, alhamdulillah, I found it in this apartment, which is really amazing. Next thing that is new, if you guys don't know, I am a full-time content creator. I have switched management. What I am so thankful for is that I was signed to that agency when I was at a little over 20K on Instagram. That is, I feel like, unheard of now. It is unheard of now, unless it is a smaller boutique agency that wants to specialize or focus on, you know, smaller content creators. You don't really see a lot of agencies that are signing smaller creators. And when it comes down to it, it just boils down to the number. When you have a smaller following, when you have a smaller audience, you're not able to charge as much as someone with a bigger audience. And when you're thinking about management agencies who get 10, 15, 20% of whatever it is that you book, most management agencies are going to want to make a good amount. And so what they can get for a creator who has 20,000 followers versus a creator who has 100,000, 500,000, a million is vastly different. So a lot of times the management agencies, they want to make sure that whatever 15, 10, 20% that they're getting from you is significant enough to where it's worth it to them. So I was very blessed to have been signed to an agency as such a small following, and I was with them as I grew, and they were supportive. They really helped me when it came to like my career and just, you know, getting me started in the industry. But I think at some point, I just wanted to try something new. The agency that I'm currently signed to is Kensington Gray, and I was loving what I saw them doing as far as management, as far as the talent I saw that they represented. And so it was, you know, like a dream agency to me as far as just like where I wanted to go next in my career. At the time where I was switching agencies, I actually took meetings with quite a few agencies, and Kensington just seemed like the best fit as far as what I was looking for, what I needed, and where I wanted to go next in my career. Having the phone call with my previous management was not easy. It's like a breakup that's amicable, if that makes sense. Like, that's how it felt. So far with the new agency, it's been like, when I say a dream, it's been a dream. I love my manager. She loves me. I can feel that she loves me. She supports my content. They support me in the decisions that I make. They push me to be better. They advocate for me when it comes to brands and just making sure that not only we're being paid fairly as creators, but also that we are being advocated for just in a way where working with the brand is seen as fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, they make sure that the timelines set for me are actually feasible. They're just great. So I have no complaints, but work update. I am with a new agency, and I have been loving it so far. If you are someone who is not into like content creation, nothing like that, and you just don't have any idea what a management does, essentially a management, whenever brands reach out to you for partnerships, they are the ones who negotiate on your behalf. My current agency, they don't just negotiate on my behalf, they also just set up systems in place to where when I am completing the content, it's like very clear and easy for me to understand, so it just makes my job so much easier. Getting a new agent is almost like getting a new job. But overall, I am very excited to see where this new management will take me long term. It is about to be 4 years since I have quit my job. If you're new here or if you just need a refresher, I actually used to be a full-time teacher. I taught 9th grade students and I loved my kids. Like to this day, I keep in contact with a few of them follow me, and it's just always love is the overwhelming feeling that I feel whenever I think about my students. But it's been 4 years since I've like quit that job and just decided to take a leap of faith in order to see where things will go, and I don't regret it at all. I am like very happy about it. It feels so short. When it comes to having a job, a 9 to 5, I feel like everyone's goals and what everyone wants to do is different. I am not of the belief that everyone needs to be an entrepreneur. I'm also not of the belief that everyone needs to have a 9 to 5. I feel like people need to do what works for them, and I'm tired of these like videos that make people feel crazy for whatever it is that they decide to do. As an entrepreneur, yes, you might be able to have access to like how much income you make, and you can control that and have freedom of some sort, but it's like at the end of the day, freedom from what? Because no matter what, whatever you do when it comes to making money, you are still servicing a company as an influencer, at least. Like you have contracts. There's still people you have to answer to. So I feel like sometimes when people be talking about like, oh, I don't have to answer to no one. Yes, you do. Because you have briefs you need to follow, you have deadlines, you have timelines. I think ultimately we all live in society that functions through the lens of capitalism. So we all have to work. And whatever you decide to do for your work is up to you. And I am not going to shame anyone for whatever it is that they decide to do. Like I know people who dream of entrepreneurship, and I know people whose dream it has been to always have like a job, a desk that they can like work at, an office view, or just the stability that comes with knowing at least you know exactly when you're gonna get paid. I don't believe in like shaming anyone for whatever it is that they decide to do. I feel like people just need to do what's best for them. However, what I can say is that for me, being that I've been both an entrepreneur and I've been someone that has literally had a timesheet and had to clock in, I've seen pros and cons to both. So I do definitely want to, you know, talk more about that. So let me know if that's something that you guys are interested in, but I'm just like completely shocked that it's been 4 years of walking out on faith, of walking out of the stability and just trying to see what could happen. And alhamdulillah, it's just been good. And if you're not Muslim, alhamdulillah, it's just like, you know, thank God, praise God. Recently I have gained some weight. I feel like within the last 2 to 3 years, I probably gained like 20 pounds. And I feel like I find it difficult to talk about weight gain when you are someone that is plus size, particularly when you're a plus size content creator, because a lot of people who are also plus size or bigger will come to you and look at you as their source of confidence. And I feel like one of the questions that I get a lot that like I usually don't know how to answer is when people ask, oh my gosh, how are you so confident? Like, how are you so just like, you know, where you are as far as whatever? And the reality is, like, for me, confidence is a spectrum. There's some days where I feel more confident than others. There's some days where I don't feel confident at all. There's some days when you can't tell me ish because I know I'm that girl, period. Like, it just all depends. The difference between my confident days and my not confident days is I don't stop what I'm doing as a result of how I'm feeling. Like, regardless of how I feel, things have to get done. Regardless of how I feel I look, I still need to show up. And I remind myself constantly, if you don't like the way that you look, or if you don't like something about yourself and it's something that you can change it. However, I do know that in general, the conversation of weight loss, weight gain, weight is just something that is difficult for people to talk about. And so for me, I've realized that one of the things I used to constantly like talk about is like being body positive. But I feel like as time is going on, I'm realizing I'm not body positive. I'm also not body negative. I am body neutral. Body neutral just means that you don't attach your feelings or your emotions as much to your body. Your body just is your body. Like my body, I'm grateful for it. I have 2 legs to walk, I have 2 arms to write, I have 2 eyes to see, I have 2 ears to hear. Like I'm grateful for all the things that my body does, and regardless of all of the changes will be changes, and that's just it. My body is my body. So I'm not like overly celebrating it and like, you know, being like, oh my god, like I love my body, I love everything about myself, but I'm also not like out here talking about something, I hate the way I look, I hate everything about myself. Like no, my body is my body, my body is a blessing. And if there's something I want to change about my body, if there's something you want to change about your body, whether you want to gain weight or lose weight, give yourself the necessary tools to allow your body to make those changes without attaching your self-worth and your joy to the way that you look on the outside. Like I feel like that's where I stand with it. And for me right now, I'm in a place where I do want to lose weight. And I feel like I'm tired also of just being someone who, I feel like my entire life has been surrounded around wanting to lose weight. Like there is not a time period where I can think of myself and not remember it being a year or a few months where weight was something that I like talked about. I mean, I remember being younger and like, you know, and when I say younger, I don't even mean like being like, you know, super young. I mean as young as college, high school, just all of these goals and things that I said I would do once I lost weight. And it's just like, I'm not waiting to lose weight in order to live the life that I feel like I deserve. However, I feel like if I'm not happy with the way that I look, if I feel different, if I feel like I'm not able to keep up with certain things, if I feel like my body is not like servicing me in the way that I want or in the best way possible, like it's well within my right to like make something to change that. So when I am vlogging, I'll definitely be incorporating and showing you guys the things that I'll be doing when it comes to just building a better relationship with food, building a better relationship with movement, and building a better relationship with just like myself and the way that I see myself when it comes to my confidence, not just about how I look physically, but even just like my confidence about my values and like what I bring to the table and like who I am. Like I feel like it's important to just never forget who you are. And so that's just something that I wanted to share. It is very personal. I feel like it's more than I've shared anywhere else. I'm not that comfortable talking about it, but I know that I cannot be the only one who sometimes wake up and you just don't like what you see. The difference is I have to physically show up and present myself to the world regardless of how I'm feeling. And I feel like doing that is almost tricking me into just being, like I said, body neutral and accepting myself for who I am and how I look, while still being conscious of the fact that I'm not 1000% happy, but the joy or the beauty in that is that I do have some form of control over that in particular. I'm just gonna take it a step at a time while still giving myself grace for all of the things that I can do and all the things that I do on a daily basis. Something I am never not in shock about is just how time is simply flying past. Like how in the heck do we have 2 more months left of the year? Like we have 2 more months left of 2023 and I feel like 2023 has just been like, it's like you blink and the year passes. You blink and we're already into a new week, a new month. And so for me, for these last 2 months, let me know in the comment section down below, like what are your goals or the things that you're focusing on for the next 2 months? I feel like for me, I just want to slow down, have some work-life balance. And I know that sounds insane because I feel like usually towards the end of the year, everybody's in like a rapid race to like get done all the goals that they didn't accomplish for the year. I'm tired. Like I'm tired. I want to spend time with my man. I want to spend time with my friends. I want to spend time with my family. I want to travel. I do have like a few travel things coming up. Hopefully I can go to Senegal to go and visit my family out there. I haven't been to Senegal since I was like 7 years old. So I'm definitely ready to just like, you know, go to Senegal and just like explore and meet my family, meet my cousins, because it's been giving pen pals. And being that I haven't been there as an adult, I feel like it's just very different when it comes to my relationship with them when I compare like the relationship my sisters who have been there have. So I just want to go and tap more into like my roots, meet certain family members on all of the sides of my family. So I'm really hoping to make that trip. I do have a brand trip coming up as well that I'm very excited about, and I'll be taking you guys along with me on that experience. And then hopefully before the end of the year, I can, you know, go somewhere tropical. And if I don't go somewhere tropical, I for sure want to go to London. I feel like everybody has been making London look like It is that grow, and I want to be down. I want to be down with the Londoners. Like, I feel like after watching Love Island UK, I've been working on my British accent. Like, it's not the best, but you know, we try. Also been watching Top Boy, so you already know. I think I'm a UK gal then, even though I'm not. Like, I just feel like I am. Now, I feel like anytime I take a long period of time away from YouTube, I come back, I make promises, I tell you guys about the changes, and I feel like I'm not doing that this time. This time, I can show you better than I can tell you. So my plan is just to show you. So if you've been here for a minute, shout out to you. Shout out to you for just being a loyal babe. And if you're just joining, welcome to the family. We about to be lit, we about to have fun, and I'm excited for you guys to come along this journey of life with me. So I want to do highlighter on my face, which I want to keep matte. Alright guys, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here, for subscribing, for supporting, for all of the things. I love you guys so much. Make sure you keep up to date with me on both Instagram and TikTok, as well as if you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button before you're on your way out. I love you guys so much. Until next time, bye.
Fine, fine, oh, back at that. Watch your love for like it.